Ruhi on the sets of Bahubali, and I did not know that she's a yoga teacher because it was a super secret that was kept from me for very long. But she is, I mean, and she's a very dear friend, and the funny part is that. I did not realize. I mean, we became friends long for a while, and then we realized, and then I was like, "Oh, you teach yoga? You have to be teaching me yoga too." I mean, the moment we started practicing together, it just felt so right, and it was just a lot of amazing realizations. And one of the most important things that I learned from you is ahimsa for your own body, and I think that is something that I use it so firmly when I practice yoga. And today I have decided that out of all the amazing things that you've taught me, of course we will be talking a lot about that, but there are a bunch of questions that a lot of people have put out here, and I'm going to actually be asking their questions because so many people have a lot of things to ask you. Do you want to say something that you intrinsically feel about yoga, and then you want me to pull in the questions?
No, I think we'll take it as it goes, right?
Okay, done. So I'm going to ask you all the questions now, there are a bunch of them. So I think the one that I found very interesting as a question was, can I? So this is by Veera Raju _, 20089, and he asks, can I do yoga if I am not flexible? I know this sounds like clearly this person is experiencing, he's not flexible, so he wants to know whether he should be doing yoga or he can start doing yoga.
So everything and anything that you do every day will get you better. So Veera, you have to just begin, and the more you practice, it's about practice and consistency. So if you practice every day, if you practice twice a day, flexibility will come. It's as simple as that.
So you think should so what do you think of, like, should people start off with Surya Namaskars? Is that something that they can start doing to for someone who's a beginner, someone who hasn't been doing yoga, hasn't ever experienced anything in terms of yoga? Should they start with something like Surya Namaskars?
So you used a very key word, which was ahimsa.
Yeah.
So everyone first should learn your breathing. Then in the asana practice, it's a very key component to not injure your body. If you learn your breathing well, the asanas will follow, because it's important that as you move, your breath leads the movement. It's one of the principle of asanas, is to allow the breath to lead the movement. Generally, what we do is we allow the mind to rule everything, including our asana practices, and that's how we land up in getting injured.
Right.
So even if you start with Surya Namaskar is like, yes, a comprehensive movement of the spine in every direction. So it is appropriate to begin with that. But even before that, I would request you to first learn the appropriate breathing that you would need to use in the asana practice. And you can break it up. Doing Surya Namaskar is also like doing a paragraph. Why don't you start with learning how to write? Learning how each alphabet moves beautifully. That is your movement of your body. Becomes a Surya Namaskar. So when it's comprehended together, it becomes a Surya Namaskar.
Nice. I think that should have answered the question. There is another, I think it's rather a cute, funny, but a very honest question, which is like, sorry, I lost the question.
So this is very Tamannaa, okay?
Yeah, very, very me. I get so excited by something and I'm like, hey, where did that go?
As much as she's there with you, she's not there. She's not there at all.
I found it. Okay, so this is Shravani Reddy _27, and she asks, which asana will give me a flat stomach?
Okay, so there is no asana particularly that will give you a flat stomach. It is your eating habits combined with breathing and the appropriate different asanas to first strengthen your spine may give you a flat stomach. May. Okay, I'm going to use the word may because I genuinely believe that for women, we are a box of hormones. So one day you wake up feeling slim and your body feeling absolutely tight and feeling very, very fit. And one day you just wake up feeling, right? Am I right, Tamannaa?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
And
might
what
have just
about
worked
the
out
days
and
you don't feel like it? Like, what about the days you don't feel like, say, doing yoga? Uh, what are the things you need to kind of are those the days you should actually be doing yoga, or you should give your body that time to not?
so when you ask the word doing yoga, I see that everyone relates asana practice to doing yoga.
Yeah.
Where actually asana practice is only 1.5% to the whole topic called yoga.
Yeah.
Asana is the third limb. Patanjali, in his sutras, talks about the Ashtanga Yoga. He has set down 8 steps for us to reach to Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that is silencing the mind. The goal of yoga is not to get a flat stomach or to have a fit body. Yes, to have a fit body for us to be able to reach to nirvana. That is a silenced mind to move into samadhi. Asana is the first is the yama, niyama, and asana. So asana is only the third limb.
Right.
Yeah. So asana is just a part of the whole thing. So when you say that, what do I do on days that I don't feel like doing an asana practice?
Yeah.
You need to question yourself that why are there days that you don't feel like doing an asana practice? One of the principal reasons would have been unmindful eating.
Yeah.
Like if you have eaten heavy in the night, you have eaten late, you have skipped your meals, you have overworked yourself. There are some days where we work on stress and flight and fight mode, and then the next day the whole day body has been really active. The next day you're totally in a slump, and the next day you're like, look, I've done my bit, I'm not going to move today.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, just like when you go to a doctor and say I have a stomach pain, doctor will ask you, what did you eat, what was your life like? So go back and think, what did I do yesterday that didn't suit my body? We generally work only from the mind. We don't listen.